How we doing? How we doing? What's up, Cod God? How are you?
Hello, motherfucker.
Austin, how are you? What are we making today? We're making homemade marinara sauce. We're going to make garlic bread. I got the bread dough here. I prepared the bread dough ahead of time, getting it ready. I've got a couple more stages for the bread dough, but then we'll be good to go. With stuffed mushrooms. I think I'm going to do a quick, like a little pickle too, with onions and cucumbers. Maybe some garlic, some basil. Yeah, we're going to do a quick little pickle. Why does my mic sound weird? I'm not sure what you mean. It's not going to sound like it does when I'm streaming video games. It's a different mic completely. It sounds robotic. Let me check. What do you hear? You don't hear what? The mic sounds fine? What? Mic check, mic check. I sound normal? Let's get weird? I don't know about getting weird, Bourbon. Butterfly said the mic sounds okay. Austin, I don't know if there's something on your end going on. Bourbon, I sound all right to you? Obviously, I don't sound like I do when I'm gaming. Obviously, I don't sound like I do when I'm gaming. It's a completely different mic. I have wireless mics set up to go upstairs. So, okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, because I need to let these proof. Doesn't sound robotic. All right. Thank you, Bourbon. Thank you. The first thing I need to do is split this dough up and allow it some opportunity to proof up again. So I'm going to put a little flour. I'm not going to make the dough. We've made this before. It's just making a fresh baguette. But we're going to pop the air out of this and try to get as many of the air bubbles out as we can. You can see them. You're just poking them. Nothing crazy. And then we're going to split the dough. Right. Might take 10% off. Give me a minute. What's up, baguette? What's up, Benny? I have some volume control I can do right here with the little wireless thing. I don't know if this might turn it up. So let's go. That turned it up. This might be the lowest volume. How does this sound at the lowest volume? Evening, Benny. Sounds good. Send it. Good stuff. Thank you, Bourbon. Appreciate it. All right. So we're making the fresh baguettes. Just folding the dough over real quick, and then we're going to flip it over onto itself. We're not doing anything crazy. Again, we've done this before. We're just trying to get 2 even balls here so that after about 10 more minutes of proofing here, we'll pop the air bubbles out of these, and then we'll come back and we'll roll the dough out into the baguettes. I might have not done this evenly, but stream's buffering a bunch. Is the stream lagging, babe? What? Yes? Okay. Goddamn. You giving it to me, Bam Bam? I thought you were getting 14 of them. What happened? I don't wish, because a 5090 means I have to upgrade the whole fucking PC. I don't just get to upgrade the 5090. What's up, Dave? So we're just going to put this back in the bowl. We're going to let these proof up for another 10 minutes or so. Once those are done proofing, we'll roll them out. Once those are done proofing, we'll roll them out and we'll allow them to proof for another, I don't know, about 60 minutes. Right, but you said you had 14 of them. Didn't you? You said you had 14. Right. Well, we're making garlic bread. We're making the tomato sauce, by the way. Evening, Clark. I appreciate it, Bourbon. Thank you very much for the sub. I'm sorry I didn't get the noti in here. Noties are weird still here. I'm sorry. And I don't have a noti anywhere. Thank you very much for the sub, Bourbon. All right, so the first couple things we're going to do, as usual, we're going to get everything out on the counter here. I've got all the tomatoes. We've got the mushrooms. I think I'm going to make a quick little pickle, by the way. Just a little fresh starter. Just with some onions, some garlic, some cucumber. So I don't actually need the sausage out right now. We're going to wash the tomatoes. Quick pickle? Nah. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice up some veggies just for a nice little fresh acidic difference maker at the beginning. I would normally, when I make pasta, I would normally have a salad. And I don't know why, but I didn't feel it today. And then as I was sitting here, I was thinking, I'm not going to have enough to fill the stream. So maybe I should do something else with it. The something else I decided to do was throw together a quick pickle. So I'm going to cut up some cucumber. I'm going to cut up, I maybe even throw a tomato in here. I'm going to cut up some cucumber. I'm going to cut up a little bit of garlic and some onion. We'll steep some red wine vinegar and some garlic. And then we'll just pour the simmered, once it's warm, we'll just pour that over the vegetables. And we'll allow that to, that's why I say a quick pickle. Title of your sex tape is a quick pickle. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, Bourbon, but quick and sex tapes, it's not really what you're looking for, bud. I don't know. Quick is not the ideal way to go about that. FYI. Just friendly advice, Bourbon. Wait, who are you asking? Who are you asking? I didn't go to no damn Taylor Swift concert. Fuck are you talking about? You're not asking me that. Am I wearing something that gave you some indication of a Taylor Swift concert, bro? Because that's fucking insane comms. Clark, Butterfly was playing music the other day. Last night, actually. Butterfly was playing music last night. And I heard a song. You might know the song because of how much you enjoy country music. But I only know like a little bit. I want the song. I want to know what the song is. Oh, you just said, okay. Okay. Let's see what you did there, Clark. Let's see what you did there. Okay. I swear he goes over and over and over. No, maybe it's not an and. Over. And then he goes, keep on loving you. I don't know. I really hate that I'm trying to sing the lyrics to a song to get, because I have to make it sound right. And I sing for my own enjoyment, not to make it sound right. So. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is get some water going. We have to blanch the tomatoes so that we can peel them. So I'm going to get some water on the stove. I'm going to cut up the veggies now for the pickle. I missed. You have to taste test everything. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not. Well, yeah. Pickling is a process, not just a noun. Molly, how are you? So for the pickle, I just put red wine vinegar, a little bit of red wine vinegar. I'm not going to put much salt because I'll season the pickle on the plate. I'm also not going to cut up the garlic. That's not the right dish. You never understand why people eat pasta with bread? I'm not sure how to give. I'm not sure what to say to that. I think pasta with bread is great. Gives you a little something extra to help soak up some of those sauces. I could be mistaken here, but I think it's actually insanely common as well. I think it's insanely common in Italian food. Typically to have some type of bread to soak up those last bits of sauces. Where are you from? Nah, I don't think it has to be garlic bread. Will you burn for something like that in Italy? Eh. I think it's a good accompaniment. I don't necessarily feel like it has to be garlic bread either. I like having a nice little dinner roll to go soak up the marinara or something like that. Get the marinara off the plate. And realistically speaking, there is nothing more subjective than your palate. Nothing on earth is more subjective than your palate. What I like, you may not like. I don't give a shit what Marco Pierre or any of those fucking guys say about it. This isn't working too well right now for some reason. I don't know if it's because the garlic's a little older, but okay, whatever, enjoy. What do you mean pizza pasta, Molly? Oh, I don't know. That might be something people do. Again, there's I've said this before and I live by it and I mean it, but there's some fundamental rules. There's some things that you shouldn't do. Like, you shouldn't start out sauteing things in a cold pan. There's some basic fundamental rules of things like that you should do. But outside of that, cooking is an art for a reason. It's called an art for a reason. There's a lot of liberty. There's a lot of freedom that you have with it. You can do a lot of what you want based on the things that you enjoy with your palate. I have a little red onion here that I'm going to cut up for the pickle. I don't think Butterfly is going to eat this. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. I like red onion. She doesn't. She may take some of the cucumber out of here, but once this vinegar has steeped up a little bit, we've got the flavor of the garlic incorporated into the vinegar, and it's warm enough to help it impart some flavor into the vegetables. What, my trigger finger, you mean, for the game? It's a bit of a different motion. It's a bit of a different motion. I think I am going to go ahead and take the least ripe tomato that I have. I'm going to put some whole peppercorns. I am going to crack them. I'll put some cracked peppercorns in here. And some crushed red pepper. I'm not looking for it to get spicy. I'm just looking for it to have a little bit of bite to it. Thank you, Soupy. How are you? I love that my nice knife auto command just I got to work on. Right, see? You know, Soupy, how you doing, brother? Dodging the snow. Wait, where are you at? You're in Canada, aren't you? I remember now. I don't know where in Canada, though. Alberta, Canada. Okay. I think I'm going to cut up. I'm going to mince this onion because I'm going to throw some of this onion in the garlic butter that we're going to make a little bit. So I'm going to cut the rest of it up. We're going to use it in the marinara sauce as well. Okay. You know, just because I don't have the computer at my disposal doesn't mean I can't ban all of you. I just want you to know that. I can and will ban all of you. They're not getting worse, they're getting better. You're so full of shit right now. I had a bad day the other day with knives, though. You just want to know what the apron says? Are you going to force me to read the apron? Butterfly buys all these aprons. I want you to know that. So I don't necessarily agree with anything that's on the aprons, Nuggy. I'm just forced to wear them. She's literally threatened my life if I don't wear the apron she buys me. It's bad enough she cracks the whip and forces me to go to work every day. Hey, when you want to steep some vinegar, you know, get some heat on it so it really gets to incorporate flavors, it's a good idea to turn the stove on. That's a pro tip, guys. Write that one down. Now listen, I realize I haven't dropped a 30 bomb yet since then, but I also feel like I haven't exactly tried. Those guys carried me to that, by the way. They carried me to that one, and I don't think I need carrying anymore. I just need to set out to do it. What's up, Bolin? So, I put some water in the bottom of the pickle pan there. We're going to give it a little bit of lemon juice. Just a little bit. The pickle bowl there. Just a little bit of lemon juice. And then when that vinegar is done, I think we're going to throw some white vinegar in there too. Do we have it down here? No. How are you, Ballin? Thanks for being here, brother. No hacks on cooking. The only thing that'll get me banned would be hurting myself. A little bit of white vinegar. All right. So the tomatoes are already washed. What we're going to do is score the back of the tomatoes. We're just trying to put a little cut in them, because what we're going to do is we're going to drop these into the boiling water, and then we're going to immediately drop them out into a bath of ice water. We're going to immediately, I don't hurt myself in the kitchen, Darth. We're going to drop them into a bath of ice water, and then we're going to peel all the skins off of them. Especially for, I wouldn't normally do this, by the way, I just want you to know that, but for the type of tomato sauce that I want to make today, I think it's going to be important to have the skins removed, because I'm not making tomato sauce like you would see, you know, this isn't like marinara, like dipping sauce for mozzarella sticks, right? I can't believe she turns a year already. This isn't like mozzarella for dipping sticks type of marinara sauce here. I personally like a chunkier. I want to be able to put my fork into like pieces of tomato when I have a tomato sauce like this. So I'm probably still making way too many. I'm definitely making way too many tomatoes right now. I always do this though. So these are ready to drop in the water. The water is ready to boil. I'm going to go over here right now and I'm going to get my ice water ready to go, because they only need to sit in there for a minute. That vinegar is starting to steep quick. And I can tell, I wish we had smell-o-vision. I can tell because I can smell it. All right. It's basically boiling. So we're just going to pour this on here. And then we're going to cover it. Woo! The vinegar on my eyes is worse than the fucking... Vinegar on my eyes is worse than the fucking onions. Making sure that all that warm vinegar gets... It cooled it right down, by the way. All right, we're going to put that back on. We're going to let that bring up to a boil. No, I used to be a cook. It was 20 years I was in the kitchen, Darth. $20 I spent in the restaurant business. Tomatoes are ready to go. Sorry for the noise, chat. I don't know how loud that comes through, but be careful dropping these in. Boiling water is 212 degrees and you don't want to burn yourself. So don't just pour them out like I was about to do. We're not trying to cook the tomatoes. We're literally just trying to get a little heat to help that skin pop off those tomatoes. Nothing crazy. It's only going to be a minute or two in there. I just washed my mushrooms as well. The ice water, by the way, is just like it is when the green vegetables, when I make asparagus or I make anything else like that. The reason for the ice water is to immediately stop the cooking process. You're not actually trying to cook it. You need them to stop. You need them to stop cooking right away. What's up, Mikey? She said, don't listen to him. Stand back and throw him in. Mikey, I'm going to be honest with you, Mikey. It would not shock me at all to see you throwing down in the kitchen like that, bro. Fuck me, you forgot about the blue hair. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Mikey? Talk to me. Is that good or bad that you forgot about it? Drop it in the food channel. Drop it in the food channel and maybe we should make some fajitas. We need more suggestions from chat, by the way. I need more feedback from you guys about what you want to see me cook next. This one I was trying to go a little cheaper than I have been recently. Obviously, we did the surf and turf last time. This one I was trying to go a little cheap. I know it's maybe daunting. I know it might come across as daunting. By the way, the potatoes are peeling. So, we're going to get them out. Literally, I don't know how long that took. 60 seconds? 90 seconds? The skin has already lifted off of them. And I'm just stirring them in the ice water. We don't want them to sit in the ice water. What's up, Mango? We're making homemade marinara sauce, but it's not like a smooth marinara. I'm not pureeing it or anything like that. I'm making like I like a stewed tomato. I like it a little bit forky. You know what I mean? So I want chunks of tomato in there. With fettuccine, I'm making a quick pickle here. Vinegar is ready to go, actually. I'm making a quick little pickle for something fresh to start the, you know, like an antipasta type of thing to start the dish out with, or to start the meal out with. Nothing crazy. Just some steep vinegar, garlic, tomatoes, cucumbers, and stuffed mushrooms and fresh garlic bread. I would, Mango, I'm going to be honest. I really wish, listen, I understand you're probably busy doing, everything else that you got going on. I have no idea what all that is. But I was really hoping to see your perspective of that fucking clip. And I wanted to see some type of edit. I don't know if you edit or if you pay somebody to edit or if you do your own edits. You guys, yeah, I hate, hello, Meg. I hate electric stoves, Meg. You guys, Mango is absolutely fucking demonic on COD, by the way. And I think we had run into each other before anyways. But like a week and a half ago, I ran into him. I mean, you just got to throw your hands up and say, hey, GG's, because he just fucking annihilated me. And it was insane. The movement that happened in front of me was just fucking stupid. It was, bro, I just want to see, what it looked like to you. I talked to Grits about it, and Grits was like, he probably just did this. It probably didn't even look that impressive to him. But what it looked like on the screen to me, motherfucker was doing pirouettes and fucking triple axles like he was ice skating in front of me. It was fucking stupid. I think I did pretty well to attempt to track it, but it was fucking insane. A culinary chemist, Darth. I never really got into that stuff. Like I get that stuff is popular. I think you're talking like molecular gastronomy, right? Is that what she wants to do? Molecular gastronomy, Darth? So if you've done this correctly, by the way, chat, if you've done this correctly, the tomato skins should basically just peel right off. It's pretty easy going after that. Boiling water with a little bit of salt. Put a split in the back of the tomatoes. A 4-way split in the back of the tomatoes. I think it's, I don't know, Moose. It's one of those things for me where I feel like it's cool to experience and it's cool to see it, but then I feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can think of an analogy for this. I don't know. It's like it's cool the first time. You know what I mean? And then after that, I don't really know that I find a lot of enjoyment or entertainment in it after that. Like, because ultimately, all you're doing when it comes to molecular gastronomy, all you're really doing is you're not really altering the way that the food tastes, right? So it's really just about the aesthetics of it, isn't it? Mikey, I don't know if you know it or not, but I have a channel in the Discord. It's called the Cooking Streams. And I'm absolutely up for taking suggestions on making anything. I mean, we made butter chicken because Venny and Clark wanted me to make butter chicken. Yeah, the first time. Yeah. I think there's some really cool things that you can do that I don't even know if they qualify as molecular gastronomy, but like when they make the olive oil droplets, you know what I mean? When they strain those through into like a bath of ice water, like that's cool. But all right, Mango. I'm just gonna wash these bowls real quick, chat. I think I'm getting better about not yelling, realizing that I have a wireless mic now, knowing that you guys are with me no matter what. Before I felt like I had to shout across the room. And even then, I probably didn't have to shout across the room. I was probably just doing so because I'm fucking deaf.
Let's fucking go.
I realize it's been way more than 10 minutes, but I got to get those rolls. I got to get those 2 balls of dough out. We got to roll those out. So I need to get some of this stuff off the counter so I can put the flour on the counter and roll them out and allow those things to proof up. So that's what we're going to do right now. What's up, Beerman? Thank you very much for the resub, Beerman. I appreciate it for 44 months. I appreciate it, Mikey. I don't even think I need to really fully clean off the counter here. We're going to set everything to the side, and I'm going to wipe the counter down. We're going to get the wax paper out here. Don't do this, by the way. If you need to cut down your wax paper, don't use your good knife. Don't use your knife and cut it up against metal. It's just not great for the knife, you know? Even if it is just the tip, just not good. One of those things, you know? I don't know what the purpose of the wax paper is other than to prevent sticking. It's my best guess, by the way. Just the tip is never good. I mean, it depends. Depends on what we're doing. Yeah, no, don't do that bit. No, you don't do that bit. We don't want too much flour down here, by the way. Just enough that it doesn't stick. Poke out any excess air bubbles. Get this thing basically in a rectangular shape. We're going to fold it once in. Fold it once in. I'm tucking it in, and I'm forgetting exactly how to do this. Now I remember. Okay, so it was... I don't want to overwork this either. Rectangular shape. Fold it. Fold it. Lay it down. There we go. I don't know why, but this feels very elastic. Like it doesn't want to roll out here. And I'm not sure what happened to the dough. But it does not want to roll. No, it should be set to IRL, actually. I don't know why this is so elastic right now. I don't know what happened here. Maybe I just fucked it up. Ideally, you would roll this ensuring that you keep the crease down. I remember what I did wrong now. All right, you're supposed to roll this out like that. Not supposed to fold it over on itself. That was a different dough entirely. It'll be interesting to see what that roll ends up looking like. We're supposed to take the back quarter of it and fold it into itself and tuck, and fold it into itself and tuck. I fucked up. I fucked up. Making a baguette. I just forgot which I was doing. All right. It still feels way too elastic. I wonder if I should re-roll that fucking thing. Probably not, because the dough is going to end up being fucking... The crust will be fucking too hard. The dough will be fucked up. Something will be wrong with it if I do. The dough is really tight, and I'm not really sure why. Hello, Gamer Mom. I'm not really sure why it's really tight. It could be the temperature in the fucking kitchen. It could be that it's really warm and it overrose. And that I've let it proof for fucking too long. Not really sure. So normally it says to proof that for another 90 minutes, and I'm definitely not going to allow that to proof for 90 more minutes before we put it in the oven. The dough. You think it doesn't look like it proofed enough? I don't know, Sean. I know the only thing that I did different with that dough right now, was that first one, that I didn't tuck it in when I rolled it over correctly. But the dough feels very, very, very stretchy. Hopefully it works out. The kitchen might be hotter right now than it has been. It might be warmer in there. Because you were... Bro. Bro. Alright, we're going to dice up... We're going to dice up the tomatoes. Nothing crazy. Again, a lot of this is going to cook down. And a lot of it we want to cook down. I'm going to grab the ones that are least ripe, like I said, though. I'm going to set those aside and add those in at the end. Just because I want pieces of tomato. No, I mean, Sean, I get it. I get why that's where your head's at with it. But I literally have... What do you mean you didn't think it was long enough, babe? I've literally done everything down to the minute, the same exact as I have before. In fact, that probably proofed a little longer on the fridge there. I don't give a shit. All right, these are the ones we're going to add in at the end. Also, it depends on what I'm chopping with where I use the knife, Sean. If I was cutting a carrot, I wouldn't be using the front of the knife. As a for instance. I'm going to set these off to the side for a minute. I think we're going to start making the stuffing. Stuffing is really easy to put together. I need to dice up some roasted red tomato or roasted red peppers. I bought a jar of roasted red peppers, by the way. I could have bought some red peppers and roasted them up, but I don't feel like I'm losing any real quality by not doing it myself. Moose, you're supposed to be a moderator for me, bro, and you're out here putting crazy fucking comms in chat. Like, I mean, listen, you were talking about coming out here. I don't know when you were talking about coming out here, but you were talking about coming out here. I mean, you fucking come out here. We could fucking do something together on stream if you wanted to, bro. I was going to say, Mikey, you said you do that a lot, or you do the same. You're talking about coming on yourself, aren't you? The dough, moose, cook. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, yep, on stream too. Shit's annoying me because it's not working. Oh, yeah. That's what, yeah. That's what I thought you meant. Brother, you literally were like, I don't know if it'll be near you or not. You were talking about coming out here. You said I might be coming out your way. Deadass, I think that the issue is actually that the garlic is fucking, and it's funny too because I just fucking bought it, but I think that the garlic's been there fucking too long because the little butt here, that shit is hard as fuck. Like it doesn't want to It doesn't want to release the skin. You don't have to use a mason jar. Okay, the idea is to agitate it, but I think the reality is that the stem there is holding the fucking skin on. It's too bouncy. Not hard enough? Bro. My mod is being sus as fuck right now. Bro, by the way, hey, can we go back to this? Can we go back to this? Can somebody do me a favor here? I could be wrong, right? I could be way off fucking base, but the guy that came in earlier, I'm pretty sure it was a first-time chatter. It didn't tell me it was, but I'm pretty sure it was a first-time chatter who was telling me that they never understood and that I would be burnt alive for using bread with fucking pasta. And, bro, please, somebody Google and find out if it's common to serve fucking bread with pasta in Italy. Because I swear to God, using fucking fresh bread to sop up the sauce that's left up around the plate is fucking common as shit. Yeah. I'm just curious. I just want to know. Well, I mean, that was kind of my premise, Mikey. That's basically what I told him. That's basically what I told him. And he was like, well, maybe in America. And he was like, fine, bye, enjoy. Like, bro, I don't care. Was hard enough this morning. Maybe you got to shake the... Bro, now the wife is out here fucking whiling out in chat. I need to go up and change. Sean, where are you watching from? Okay, so bread is served, but bread is served with pasta. That's the point. Are you watching from the PC, Sean? Can you try this, Sean, for me? I don't know if it'll work, but I don't want to have to go upstairs. Exclamation mark, set game. And then space, capital I, capital R, capital L. Bro, I love focaccia. Focaccia is fucking fantastic. All right, mushroom stuffing. The mushroom stuffing is spicy sausage, which I told Butterfly I needed, and she bought me spicy sausage. She bought it in the links, though. So, it is what it is. I'm going to have to fucking squeeze the meat out of the tube here. Spicy sausage, spicy Italian sausage. Yeah, easy fix. Spicy Italian sausage and sweet Italian sausage with spinach or roasted red peppers and Asiago cheese. I'll have to try it. I'll have to go upstairs to do it. Stream Elements hasn't worked for that in a while. But equal parts, chat. Equal parts would be the way that it was done. I think it wasn't equal parts, was it? I'm doing equal parts because I like spicy. I'm making more sausage stuffing than I need, by the way. Mod view might work, Sean. I'm making more than I need, by the way, because I'm going to freeze the rest. We're going to freeze the rest. Butterfly loves this stuffed mushroom recipe. It comes from when I used to work at the casino. when I worked at Cedar Steakhouse at Foxwoods, this was their stuffed mushroom recipe. Thank you, Sean. I think that's probably... I think Stream Elements isn't allowed to do it anymore for some reason. I think it's a Twitch thing. Yeah, we're just going to go with the whole fucking thing. I think it's a Twitch thing. And so you doing it in mod view did it through fucking Twitch. Appreciate it, sir. So, this is spinach that I cooked up. And then you want to put it in like a colander. Basically, you're going to put it into a colander, which is, you know, a strainer. And then you're going to put a bowl inside the strainer. And then you're going to put some heavy shit inside the bowl. And you're going to press out as much of the liquid as you can. You don't want it being all fucking wet and sloppy when you put it into your stuffing. It'll ruin your stuffing. So you want to drain out as much of the liquid as you can. No, I'm not putting meat in the pasta sauce, babe. I figured the meat was here. Nothing crazy here, by the way. So it's a sweet sausage, it's a spicy sausage, it's the spinach, it's the roasted red peppers. I could throw some onions in here, but I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna make it like it was. And we're just gonna mix this all together. You just want to get it as evenly incorporated as you can. I think we might have used a mixer when we were doing this. We may have put it in there with like a dough arm and just allowed it to fucking fully incorporate itself. Maybe I should put some pepper in here, but I don't think black pepper is really going to come through with the spicy sausage anyway, so. I didn't put the Asiago in yet. I just cleaned my hands, so I should have put the fucking Asiago in ahead of time, but I did. No, the mushrooms, basically what I'm going to do is, I'll show you in a second, Mikey. I'm going to take the stem out of the, I use domesticated mushrooms, or domestic mushrooms, just white button mushrooms. I'm going to pull the, I'm going to pull the stem out of it. I'm going to pull the stem out of it. And then, make a ball. I am making stuffed mushrooms. And then make a ball. This is Asiago cheese, by the way, chat. Make a ball and then put that in the void where I took the stem out of. And we'll put that in the oven with some clarified butter on it. The recipe back in the day was to put clarified butter and white wine. I don't keep white wine in the house. I don't love cooking with wine. There's a bitterness that cooking with wine leaves behind. A lot of people love it. I'm just not a fan. Even when it comes to making like a shrimp scampi or something like that, they say you're supposed to put white wine. That's what you should, you know, you deglaze with lemon, you put the white wine in there and you let that reduce. I'm just not a fan. Even if I did keep wine in the house, it's not something that I would do. So I'm just kneading this all together. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Again, you want even incorporation, basically. We don't measure anything, but when I pull this over to you, you'll be able to see. You can see the even bits of cheese. You can see that the peppers are spread pretty evenly throughout. I probably could have done well to slice the peppers a little more deliberately, but washing my hands because that's raw pork. All right, so here's the stuffing. I don't have a camera preview on right now, so basically looking for just even incorporation of everything across the board. I'm going to put the cheese back away. So it's going to go in with a little bit of clarified butter, and then as it's just about to be finished, I'm going to put some Romano cheese on the top. I'm going to clean the countertop very well now because I just did the sausage. And we're going to start cooking the tomato. Once I'm done cleaning the countertop, we're going to start cooking the tomato sauce. What's up, Lex? Pizzuki, not yet. Not yet. You know what, Lex? I'll look at the ingredients that I need to make cookies next week. Or for the next one. We'll do it next one. I don't know what we're doing for the next one, but the dessert is going to be the pizzuki. Which is basically a cookie pie. But it's a cookie. I also have a cast iron now, although I don't know that my cast iron is going to be seasoned in a way that's really going to be like great for fucking pizzuki. Cast iron is currently developing savory seasonings. Nope. I'm a Seattle fan because I'm from Washington. Not because of anybody else. I didn't follow Marshawn. If anybody was going to get me to follow to the Raiders, it would have been Marshawn Lynch. And Marshawn Lynch didn't get me to go there. I'm damn sure not going for Pete. How dare I betray Pete? Not going to lie to you. I think Pete kind of betrayed us a little bit. I think Pete should have been the one to go, not Russ. Personally. Yeah, we just went 50-50 though. Wait, close what door? Did I leave the fridge door open? I did. Probably. You and fucking Clark. All right, where are we at? So, we've got the stuffed mushrooms ready to go. Oh, that's what we're doing. Sauce pot. All right. I'm going to start this out on medium heat. I'm going to get a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. I've got a yellow onion over here. We're not making like that whole pan. It's just a nice, good, flat bottom pan. I'm going to mince this up to the point where it's basically going to dissolve into nothing. How do we try this food? I mean, that's something we're going to have to work out sometime down the road, you know? We're on the way, Lex. We're on the way to having, you know, Might take another 30 years, but maybe one of these days we'll have like a, you know, the Tim the Tap Man fucking level of like cookout type of shit. You know what I mean? Better than Timmy? I mean, I'm better than Timmy is at COD. I'll say that right now. 100%. 100%. I can actually cook. That's true too. Also, I'm not a Cowboys fan. Which, I mean, you know, nothing against Cowboy fans in particular, except, you know, you should stream snipe me one of these days. I don't know, bro. You might be washed, Lex. You might be washed, bro. On an alt. I'm just rough chopping this. I'm actually going to rough chop all of it. We're not going to put all of it in right away, because what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to make this tomato. I'm going to allow this tomato sauce to do what it's doing. I'm going to allow it to all come together. Once it comes together, I'm going to pull it off and I'm going to let it cool down. And then when it's time to, when the pasta's ready, I have a flat saucepan, a flat skillet. I'm not really sure what kind of pan I would call it. It's not really a frying pan. And I guess technically it is. Call it a skillet. I'm not sure what the technical term is. What's up, Gams? So, I'm going to saute up some garlic and again some more onions in the bottom of that pan. And drop the tomato sauce into that. Just because I like it garlicky, and then that'll be as the pasta is coming out of the water. We'll do that, and we'll finish it up in that pan. So we get really good coating of the pasta with the sauce. We're making homemade marinara sauce with garlic bread. Although, from the looks of things, it seems like I might have failed making my bread here. I don't like how they look. I don't like how they're proofing. Making cereal, just taking a detour. That's insane comms out of you, Lex. Mikey, I don't know if you're still here, but basically, that mushroom is uncooperative. Basically, you grab the mushroom and kind of just... Bro, all these mushrooms are uncooperative. Fucking assholes. And pull the stem out. That's what we're going to do with all of them. All right. We're going to do a nice healthy spoonful of garlic and a nice healthy spoonful of onion. When that starts to brown up, I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in there. Some dried Italian seasoning in there. And some crushed red pepper in there. We're going to do that just at the end because we don't want that stuff to burn. We don't want that stuff to burn, but we do want to like start to coax and extract the flavors out of it. So I'm going to put it in right at the end. And then I'm going to drop the tomatoes in there. And we'll reduce the heat on that. We'll reduce the heat on that. We'll allow it to really pull together and build all those flavors up. I did manage to find a basil plant at Walmart. I don't know if it's going to make it. But I do actually have fresh basil for the first time in fucking 2 months. So that's exciting news. I don't even think I need to. I'm not even going to have to. These are all sitting very well flat. They're all resting very well on the bottom. If your mushrooms don't want to sit flat, you would just slice a little bit off the back of it. Just cut a little flat surface on it. But all of these mushrooms are doing well. I should probably not cook all of them. Except I'm guessing my daughter will want to eat some of these tomorrow. Possibly tonight. She could come over tonight. I don't know. My forearm muscles are muscling. Are they? I don't know. I don't know about that, Lex. I think my forearm muscles have mostly retired, bro. All right, so this garlic right now is getting perfectly toasty. I really need to figure out a way to get a nice... one of the upgrades we'll end up doing to this stream eventually is we're going to get a fucking forehead. We're going to get a brim hat cam or something like that. Then just a little pinch of the crushed red pepper. Not much. Maybe 20 flakes if you have it. You don't have to have it. Just what I want to do. And enough dried Italian seasoning to coat the bottom of the pan, basically. Give that a little stir and watch it. You'll smell the aromatics of the seasoning right away, by the way. Once it hits that hot oil, that dried Italian seasoning is going to come through. I think dried Italian seasoning is best for something like this, by the way. I'm going to give that a little splash of water. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy. Just want to give it something to help start that tomato breaking down. Thank you, Lex. Cilantro or basil, Sean? Probably both. It's really hard. It's really hard for me to pick between cilantro and basil. I think Butterfly thinks we're going to be able to use the basil that I want off of this and salvage some of the rest. I don't know. She's hoping that the stems... I mean, this basil plant looked like it would be alright, right? But a lot of the leaves yesterday were looking pretty fucking gnarly. And we're hoping that we can leave this in the window. We were going to have to repot it, but hopefully we can put that in the window and it'll... hopefully it'll come back to life. Just washing the basil off. All right, mushrooms are ready to go. Stuffing is ready to go. Tomato sauce is working. Let's preheat the oven. I don't know. I don't know if the bread's gonna fucking... I'm concerned about the bread. What's up, Vanilla? I still do, because I still don't have a stone. I still do, and I still don't have a stone, Sean. And also, Sean, it's a fucking, I'm not chiffonading the basil correctly. I know. You're going to love that. I didn't put the napkins back down well enough. I never bought a knife stone, Sean. And it's not a high, I like the knife. I like the weight of the knife. I like the weight of the knife, and I like how the knife is balanced, and I like how the knife feels in my hand. But ultimately, I think it's a $25, $30 knife. I've had it for a long time, though. I like the knife. It's a great fucking knife. If you ask me, the balance of it is brilliant. I forget, Farberware or some shit like that. What about you, Sean? Favorite herb? By the way, chat, what he's talking about is how the knife is curved in at the backside like that. Because you can only start one of those hand knife sharpeners at a certain point on the blade. I thought you said herb. Did you not say herb? You said herb or spice. I like cumin too, Sean. I thought you said herb. Basically right now, by the way, the scallions that I'm cutting up are going to be for they're going to be for garnishing the mushrooms for the most part. I'll probably put them as like a finish on the garlic bread as well for myself. You also said least favorite? I think coriander would probably be my least favorite seasoning. Herbs? I know this is probably going to sound like this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but my least favorite herb is probably going to be mint. And I think the reason that I would say mint is because most people use mint and they're just fucking idiots. It's like mango. Honestly, it feels like the mango thing. Everybody was like, hey, you know it'd be really great if we started putting it on dishes that make no sense for it to be on? Mint. Mint would be a great accompaniment for absolutely nothing, but we're going to put it on absolutely fucking everything. Like I feel like one day everybody just found out that mint was a thing and they started putting it everywhere. Shallot's not an herb. Do you just not like onions? It's not even that I hate mint. I just feel like it was overused. Goddamn, vanilla. Oh, you meant favorite. What's up, Only? We're making homemade tomato sauce. We're making homemade tomato sauce. I'm going to have to move the camera. Fuck. Homemade tomato sauce. Like we're making a fettuccine marinara with homemade garlic bread and stuffed mushrooms. I also made a quick little pickle of some cucumber, tomato, red onion. Oh. You just said Paragon and it reminded me. Least favorite herb? Tarragon. Fuckman, Tarragon. Because that's my least favorite on a flavor standpoint. I don't mind mint, I just feel like it was misused by most people. Tarragon, I feel like Tarragon's a tough one. I don't hate tarragon. He said favorite herb and spice and least favorite herb and spice. And I think I would have to go with tarragon being the least favorite. It's definitely not one I'm reaching for first. There's very few scenarios that I can think of that I would use it. And most of the scenarios I can think of that I would use it are going to be the classic ones. Like oh shit, I'm brain dead right now. What the hell is the sauce called? Bernaise. I don't know why I couldn't think. From the looks of these tomatoes, I didn't need to pull any of them. I didn't need to reserve any of them. They're not going to cook down into, like, favorite item to prep. I don't have a favorite item to prep. My favorite item to prep would be fucking telling the kid in the back to go fucking prep some shit. Yeah, I was just brain dead for a minute. I couldn't think of it. I think Bernaise is probably the only place I can really think of that I would use tarragon. Deadass. Like, I like using my knife, vanilla, but once you get out of the prep kitchen, you tend to want to be on the line until you get to a point where, like, it's like, okay, I want to break from the line, right? I don't want to be stressed out tonight, so then you want to go hide back in the prep kitchen. But most of the shit that's going on in the prep kitchen, it's menial bullshit. You don't want to do it. Nobody wants to sit back there, as a for instance, you don't want to sit back there with a whole case of fucking strawberries and have to take the fucking tops off the strawberries. It's the last fucking thing anybody wants to fucking do. So you give it to the fucking dishwasher and you give them a fucking paring knife and you have them go ham. You don't want to do that shit. All right, tomato sauce is on. I'm going to get the water. What is this for? Why did I get this pan? Pasta. I'm going to get the water going for the pasta. I really wanted Radiatore. This is apparently a product of Italy. I've never used this pasta before. It's called number 40, or it's called Market District. I don't know. Not really fussed. Dried pasta, I think, is dried pasta for the most part. I don't know. I've never had anybody point out any fundamental differences in dried pasta. That said, I looked at Walmart and I looked at the grocery store local to me. My favorite fucking pasta to use for sauces, I know it doesn't go with every sauce, but something like the mac and cheese. If I make a mac and cheese or something like that, Radiatore. Radiatore takes there's so many crevices and nooks and crannies on that fucking noodle that allow you to just carry It just holds sauce. It just holds all kinds of sauce. Right. Well, that's what I was saying though. Only right. It's like up until the point once you're on the line. Once you're on the line, you want to be there until it's like, all right, I don't want to stress my ass out all fucking night Saturday night. Let me go hide in the back of the kitchen. But it's rare, right? Like you don't want to do any of the fucking menial bullshit. For the most part. This is still warm. I'm going to throw these tomatoes. In case you're wondering what that was, it's actually my stove. When it gets to the preheated temp, or the oven, when it gets to the preheated temp, I'm still not going to throw these in. I'm second guessing myself. Tomato sauce is cooking down nice over here, but the tomatoes, I told you guys I like chunky, like bits of tomatoes, and I like it to be almost stewed. And that's doing it on its own. This is why I reserved part of the tomatoes. I had reserved tomatoes because I wanted to throw those in late so that they didn't cook down. And it doesn't look like I really needed to do so. But I'm still going to wait just so I have some good pieces of tomatoes in there. Some really good ones. If anybody saw the carrot earlier, you were wondering what it is. A lot of times in tomato sauces, people will put sugar in them to reduce and help blend out some of that acidity. I don't like putting sugar in it because I feel like you can make the sauce sweet. But a carrot is easy to pull it out of it, and it has some of the similar effect. All right. I think we're at the point we're going to make a bowl of ice. We're going to brush and cut. We're going to brush this with water and cut it. See, this, by the way, is one of those things that I ideally would never move the fucking camera. This is one of the things when it comes to prepping this that I'm trying to get better about, is making sure that I have everything out of every counter and every nook and cranny that it needs to be out of before I start. Absolutely, only. I'm not insulted. If you think there's an easier way to do something than I'm doing it, I'm not going to be asked by you fucking telling me only. If that's, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's not what you were going to say, but oh, by the way, disclaimer, this is my first time ever making a tomato sauce from scratch. I'm getting this nice and wet. The last time that I did this, now I don't know what happened with the dough today. I really don't. I don't know if it was a temp. I don't know if somehow or another I didn't fucking allow it to rise enough. But the Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. I lost my train of thought mid-sentence. You clean as you go? What are we talking about? Full disclosure, Gamer Mom, I'm a cook, I'm not a baker. Me making bread right now is something that I'm very much learning how to do. The first few times that I made the bread, the the crust was a little too hard, and somebody said it might have been that I overworked it, and Clark was saying that I needed to put ice water in. So I changed that I needed to put ice in there. I think the humidity of the oven, impacts how crisp and crunchy the crust of the dough is. Later, Gams. But again, baking is a science. It's something that I'm only just learning how to do. Right. So that's the reason I put the carrots in there, is to help reduce the acidity, because I don't like the idea of putting sugar in there and how you can. I'll pull the tomatoes out. Like I said, I've never made a tomato sauce before from scratch. Somebody else has always made it. We've always had cans of tomatoes, stewed tomatoes. I am making fresh garlic butter. I have softened butter on top of the fridge. That I'm going to incorporate some of this garlic into, some of the shallots into, and then some of the basil into as well. I actually don't need this season. I don't need that on yet, by the way. No, you're fine. I don't care about your spelling. I don't give a shit. Clark misspells more shit than anybody in here. He also likes to correct people's fucking grammar, even though he misspells everything under the fucking sun. Love you, Clark. I don't care. The only time I'm ever going to call you out for spelling is if we're talking shit to each other, like you know what I mean? Like actively talking shit to each other. Or if you're being a condescending prick to somebody else, which you've never been. It's not really a point for you, you know? But like when, you know, as a for instance, in COD game chat, when somebody's fucking being a dickhead and they misspell something, I'm definitely the first person to correct that shit. Definitely. Because you were being a dick. If you're gonna, you know, you better come correct, dick. No, but I don't care if you misspell shit. There's some words I don't know how to spell. What word was it the other day I was saying I didn't know how to fucking spell? I couldn't think to save my life. In case anybody's wondering, those of you that might be new to the channel, I clean my dishes as I go. So when I'm off stream or when I'm off camera like this, if you're wondering what the hell is happening, it's me washing dishes. And it also feels like the mic wire. Yeah. I could probably, where are we at right now? I gotta think. I just put that in for 15 minutes. The tomatoes, I'm gonna throw the tomatoes in now. By the way, these are the last bits. That tomato sauce is starting to cook down. I still want those nice chunks of tomato, which is why I did it that way. I think I'm going to move the pickle to the freezer. Get the sausage out. Start making those. Right, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to make the sausage balls. Remember I said I made way too much of this? I'm going to make the same size ball. No matter how big the mushroom is, we're going to make the same size ball. The reason that we're going to make the same size ball is because we want these to cook evenly. This is raw pork. We don't want to eat raw pork. So we want all of these to be pretty consistent in size. Stuffed mushrooms. Sorry. I don't. I've been trying to get to a point with the menu. I've been trying to get to a point with the menu where I can just quickly, what I actually want to do for the menu is I actually want to get a real life chalkboard. I want to get a chalkboard and hang it on the wall. Maybe it wouldn't stay there when I wasn't doing the cooking streams, but ideally I would be able to just fucking handwrite what the menu is for the day on the chalkboard and then hang it up behind me. I just haven't done it yet. And so I didn't make the overlay because, well, it's been a busy month and a half for me. A caulkboard would be better. I think you'd love a fucking caulkboard on your forehead. Well, and we were talking about you last night, by the way. I was hanging out in the Discord call with Cozy, and he was playing with Leisha. And Leisha gave comms that she was being sniped at from somebody from the water. And she was like, "You're not going to fucking hit those. You're sniping me from the water." And I was like, "Be sure it's not Ballin." Because Ballin's got aimbot out there with the sniper rifle in the fucking water. Fucking guys floating, fucking doinking everything. So again, we want these to be relatively the same size. The mushrooms can cook a little unevenly, and that's fine. But if the sausage cooks unevenly, you end up with a ball or a spot of raw sausage. And anytime you're dealing with ground meats, you're always going to want to make sure that you're very, very deliberate about taking care of the temperature. Brother, nah, bro, we saw that game, bro. You hit like, brother, you were on fucking 10 kills until zone 5 in the water. And then you ended with 23. Sniping from the fucking water, bro. Lucky shots or cheating. Take your pick. Don't touch your fridge with your sausage hands. No, that sounds like a weird comm. I literally almost opened the fucking fridge just now with my hands full of fucking sausage stuffing. Not good. In case you were wondering only, this is a mixture. This sausage, or this stuffed mushroom recipe is from when I used to work at the casino. It was at the restaurant, and Butterfly loves the stuffed mushroom recipe. So we have, they used to do like a 2-to-1 sweet sausage to spicy sausage, maybe even 3-to-1. I don't remember. It's been fucking 10, 12 years since I worked there. I just went 50-50 because I like spicy. So we went 50-50 with spicy Italian sausage and sweet Italian sausage, some roasted red peppers, some blanched and drained spinach, and Asiago cheese. We'll put these in the oven with clarified butter until they cook through, until they're like 85, 90% of the way through, and then we'll sprinkle some Romano on them and call it a day. No, it's just, I'm not going to dig through the trash. I am going to dig through the trash. I wish I could tell you whatever the hell they give us in the grocery store, brother. That's a relatively decent comp bourbon. I think typically though, in your case, you're gonna want your mushroom to be the one doing the stuffing. I don't think you want it stuffed unless that's your thing. And in which case, well, I'm not here to judge. You fucking psychopath. I mean, assuming, yeah. Unsalted butter, always. I don't think I've ever had a use for salted butter, by the way. Sean, the fact that you chimed in for the kink shaming on that particular kink is actually disturbing, bro. I do recall. American Pie Part 4, the mushroom episode? Brother. I'm actually, you know what? We're going to finish the tomato sauce with some butter. So, I'm just going to chop that up now. It'll be the last thing that I fold into the sauce. Will be some pats of cold butter. Well, the reason I'm never going to use salted butter myself, and I'm sure you can respect this only, the reason I don't use salted butter is because I lose the ability to control how much salt is going in the fucking dish. You put enough butter and you might end up with a situation where you now have too much salt in it. Right. If you put the fucking salted butter in there, then you don't get the ability to control it. I have not made my own butter, although I have recently become curious about doing so because I live in Amishville now, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely curious. Hi, Easy. I'm definitely curious about it. So my question is, when do you use salted butter bourbon? Because in all my years cooking, I don't think there's ever been a scenario where I've had a chef say, hey, go grab the salted butter for me. Bread's in the oven. I think we're getting to that point. I'm going to turn the water on. Bread's in the oven. Alexa, how much time on the timer? Alexa, shut the timer off. This is hot, chat. Don't do this barehanded unless you know that you can do this barehanded. Oh, I'm sorry, by the way, Gamer Mom, I don't think I ever finished saying. So one of the things I kind of figured out when it came to making this bread was that the crust was too hard. And a couple of the things that I did to get the crust to the point where I wanted the crust to be, and butterfly included in this, was I started cooking it on a lower temperature for the first 15 to 20 minutes of the cook with water in. And then I turned it up for the final 10 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes. And then I set a timer, and then I turn up the oven to the temperature that it called to be cooked at for the last 20 minutes, or the last, 10 to 15 minutes of it, by the way.
Sorry, I'm having trouble. Please try in a little while.
Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes.
12 minutes, starting now.
Easy, how are you tonight, Papa? I mean, Europeans, they think they know how to spell. I mean, listen, bourbon, what we call cilantro, they call coriander, and they think they're right. What did you guys have for dinner? Easy. Oops. Um, but when you buy coriander over here, you buy a ground up, dried fucking seasoning, Sean. When you buy cilantro over here, you buy the leaf. You know? Hey, Bourbon Clark used to love to fucking call me a colonizer. He used to love to call me a colonizer, and he used to bust my balls about me saying that I was Norwegian. And then he found out how close to off the boat I am. And the fact that my grandfather was the first one born here, and my great grandfather was the immigrant over here. And then he realized that I wasn't a dirty colonizer, that my people were the ones that did to his people what his people did to. All right. I love cilantro. Love it. Cilantro is a thing. It absolutely is a thing. In fact, I'm going to use that very thing. Babe, you have cilantro in here, right? I know it doesn't really go with the dish, But I know it doesn't go with the rest of the dish, but I love it. And one of the things that I'm going to finish my pickle with is this lovely fucking cilantro here. Rudy, we are making homemade tomato sauce with fettuccine. So a fettuccine marinara, basically. With homemade garlic bread. With homemade garlic bread and stuffed mushrooms. I also decided at the last minute that I was going to throw together a quick, like, normally when I would have pasta like this, I would have a salad with it. And I didn't have the stuff to make a salad. But I did have cucumbers and tomatoes and onions, so I made a quick pickle. And basically, I steeped up some vinegar. I put some garlic and some vinegar and some herbs and some crushed red pepper into a pot, and I allowed that to steep and simmer a little bit. And then I poured it on top of the veggies, so it'll still be crunchy and crisp and fresh, with a nice light and acidic flavor to it. It's a good starter for something like this, I think. It's not an antipasto per se, but when you say kefir, I don't know what kefir is. What are we talking about? I don't know. What are we looking at there, Bourbon? The purple jug? No, the purple jug is some fucking generic ass creamer. Coffee creamer. All right. I mean, we're basically at a point of stand and wait. The bread is going to be coming out. We're going to let the bread cool down a little bit. I should make the garlic butter. That's what I should do. All right. The garlic butter, I don't do anything crazy. I put some seasoning in here. Put some herbs in here. Gonna put a little bit of the fresh basil in here. Gonna put a little bit of the onions in here. I'm probably, as much as I want to use the fresh garlic, I don't think that the fresh garlic is well suited for this purpose. I think the jarlic, as Chef Reacts would call it, I think the jarlic is better, because I think that stuff's going to be too bitter. I don't think it's going to cook properly. So, putting a spoonful of jarlic in there. We'll put some cracked pepper and some salt, some garlic powder. And some trusty adobo. Also some, just a pinch of Italian seasoning there. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to put, to be frankly honest with you. Oh, there it is. I'm not going to put much salt in there because I'm actually going to finish the garlic bread with a little bit of Romano cheese as well. You guys may or may not know, but cheese is salty. Has a tendency to be. It's just garlic that's soaking in liquid. It's just garlic that's been it's not fresh garlic. Yeah, if you put salt on things that have cheese in them, you're gonna run the risk. You're gonna run the risk of having your palate blown up with fucking salt. It's not fun, by the way. It's not fun. When you get hit with something that's too salty, it's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible, bro. I didn't know that was the technical reason, though, Bourbon. I just know that I know that cheese is salty. Alexa, how much time on the timer?
You have 1 minute and 30 seconds left on your 12-minute timer.
That is very, very tomatoey. It's got some good garlic flavor to it. We're gonna put some seasoning in here. Not much, because again, I'm gonna do this in the pan as well. It's got good herbs. Dried Italian seasoning, I think, is better for these purposes. We kind of discussed this last night. I think it just releases better aromatics into it for some reason. It's one of those rare occurrences where dried is better than... This is my humble opinion, by the way. You can disagree all you want. It's fine. But I think dried herbs is better for making a tomato sauce. Dried herbs are trash, Bourbon. They are. Basically, at the point here, we're going to stop simmering the tomato sauce. Because what I'm going to do, I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did, but what I'm going to do is... Alexa, shut off the timer. I mean... It's interesting because this one doesn't look, and the crust is so fucking hard. I'm not really sure what the fuck happened with my bread this time. But we move. We move. All right. By the way, guys, this is going to be insanely hot and insanely dangerous to do. Most of you are probably going to want to wait until it cools down to get the bowl of water out of the stove, out of the oven. And I would advise most of you do wait. All right, I'm going to get the bits of carrots that I put in here. I'm going to take those out. I think I lost my train of thought there for a second. Didn't finish what I was saying. So what I'm going to do here, once we get everything else done, is I'm going to take this tomato sauce that we've made, and I'm going to, in this pan back here, we're going to saute up some more garlic and some shallots, and we'll fold this tomato sauce into that. And we'll season that up. And we will drop the pasta fresh out of the hot water, fresh out of the boiling water, into that. Allow it to get good and coated on the nice, freshly released starches from the pasta. And then we will finish it with butter. So that's when I'm really going to put, like, this is relatively bland right now. It tastes great of tomatoes and it tastes great of garlic and herbs, but there's not really any salt in it. There's not really a whole lot of seasonings in it in that sense. I'm going to do that in the pan when I make the final sauce. That seemed to happen a lot, losing my train of thought. You know, one thing I don't lose sight of, though? Well, actually, the one thing I've never had sight of is your neck. Unfortunately, guys, Moose was born without a fucking neck. Imagine being the only moose on Earth with no neck. Exclamation mark moose in the chat, please. Exclamation mark moose in chat.
Mooses don't know neck.
Thank you, AZ. Yeah, Bourbon, I don't know what happened with the bread. The bread came out, I don't know why. The one roll, I could tell that the dough was really tight. And I don't understand, and I don't bake either. I'm learning how to bake bread. The last ones that I made were perfect. The last ones that I made were perfect. These ones, the one roll is worse because I didn't roll it out correctly. It's true though. I mean, did you ever see that guy on 90 Day Fiance or whatever? That's actually Moose, by the way. That's actually Moose. All right. So we're at the final steps here. The pickle's done. Mushrooms are in. Bread is cooling. So the bread needs to rest before I cut into it. Otherwise, they'll end up doughy and gummy. We're actually going to turn around and throw this right back in the oven with the garlic butter on it. I'll probably do it. I'm probably going to do it in slices. I think I am going to do it in slices. The fridge? What do you mean? What are you talking about? The fridge is a little wobbly, by the way. That's the floor, not me. I'm not putting a shim in it. The house, Bourbon, I don't know if I told you this. The house is like 113 years old, and it's got a little bit of a foundation issue that we're working on. When I say that we're working on it, I mean we're saving up the money to pay the people to come fucking deal with it because of all the things that I can do and I want to do. That is not one of them. No, I'm not tucking cardboard under that thing. You're out of your fucking mind. The front right leg, you think, is it that far off? It's touching. Front right leg is touching. Gotta wash my hands now. All right. Jokes aside, we're back to cooking. We're back to cooking. I'm hot as fuck, bro. Right now, by the way. Hot as fuck. Thank you for the water. So I'm starting out with some olive oil in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to let that warm up. Once that gets warm, I'm going to throw the garlic. And shallots. I'm sorry, garlic and onions. And crushed red pepper into it. The water is boiling. The water is already salted as well. I don't smell the mushrooms yet. Yes, I'm still cooking. You'll be okay, Clark. I think because, I mean, the bread actually looks delicious now. The crust is softened up a little bit as it sat here and rested. I think for presentation purposes, man, the bread's actually good. The crust came out better than I thought it would. I don't know why that one was so, I don't know. I did, but I still cut into it too fast. For some reason, Clark, the dough was very stretchy, and I was worried about it. And when I pulled it first out of the oven, the dough or the crust was very very crunchy, very crunchy. It's softened up now that it rested. The bread's still hot though. I shouldn't have fucking cut it yet. I'm sauteing up the garlic and I can smell it. It's delicious. Just spreading the garlic butter on here. Nice and liberally. Don't be shy. See, the butter's already melting into the bread. We're going to put that straight in the oven. This is a really good golden brown. It smells fucking delicious. I'm going to put the crushed red pepper in. Just a pinch. Nothing crazy. Give that just 2 seconds to let the oil hit it, the crushed red pepper. And we're going to start getting the tomatoes in here. So there's not going to be a lot of this left over here, but if you made more of it, you would definitely, remember I said I didn't put any real seasoning or anything in that. You'd be able to reserve that, freeze it, use it again later. You could even jar it if you wanted to. I always suck at making the correct amount of pasta. Always. Always suck at this. I don't know if this is enough. See? And then I do that, and I feel like I want more. I feel like I should put more in there, and I probably shouldn't. Or maybe I should. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I think that was 3/4 of it. I'm going to add the basil in. A little bit of it, not all of it. The last bit of the basil we're going to put in at the very, very, very end. I'm going to fold it in. It'll release a nice aromatics. I'm going to start seasoning this. Decent amount of salt. Not going to put that back in there. This is adobo, just that spice mix. Fresh cracked pepper. In case you're wondering if this last step was completely necessary, like the fact that I split up the tomato sauce cooking, I did it in the pot and then I did it in the pan. It's not. You could have gone all the way inside the pan. I think it's just a habit. I think it's just a habit from leftover days in the kitchen. Typically, the things that we'll be using on the line won't be ready. They'll be done 80% of the way, you know. And then you finish it up to taste on the line before you serve it. You could have gone all the way with the garlic. I'm going to let that simmer down there. As soon as we get the pasta out of the water, we will end up throwing it directly into that. We'll fold in the cold butter. We'll fold in the basil. I hope this is not too loud when I'm washing dishes over here. Apologies if it is. I'm okay with that. Considering the audience, no, you're right. You're 100% correct. Considering the audience, it was a dangerous statement there to make. We're absolutely cooking this. We're absolutely cooking this fettuccine al dente. Basically, it's just easier than reaching for 4, 5, 6, 7 spices, you know? You can see this, by the way. Most of the moisture is cooked out of this, but you can still see that there's pieces of tomato. It's not, like I said, it's not like a marinara dipping sauce or anything like that. We're actually going to use the thermometer today for the first time. They look like they're done. They probably are. But, again, raw meat, raw ground meat. Looking for 165 degrees. They're currently at about 148 degrees. I'm going to drain some of this water off. Just to make the pan a little less dangerous to grab. I'm going to turn the oven up a little bit. What's up, Demon? Is that good news though, Demon? I don't know if that's good news or bad news, Demon. I mean, yeah, maybe you want to lose weight, but not necessarily in the method by which you've done in the last couple of weeks, right? Not using a wire rack for what? Mushrooms? Put mushrooms on? Mind you, I don't have any, but in the kitchen, we would just use a sizzle platter. Right inside the bottom. You would just put them right on the sizzle platter, put the butter in, just let it go. Gotcha. That pasta is currently like 75% of the way done. So we're going to get the butter out and get ready to go here. The pasta, the mushrooms were, like I said, about 148 degrees. Turn the oven up. They probably need another 5 minutes tops. I've got the strainer ready to go in the sink. I'm going to run over here with the pasta. We're going to drain it out. I'm going to come back, and we're going to fold it into the sauce. The starches on the outside of the pasta would do really well to grab it. It's why fettuccine is it's fine for this, but again, I wanted radiatori because radiatori is just a great noodle for fucking soaking up sauce, for holding all of them. I think he was a liquor guy. Just realized the front of the stove is still on. Love that. Oh, plate for stuffed mushrooms, maybe? I really need to get better plates for plating. But I think this is what we're going with. You don't like the way it makes you feel when you're drinking it or the day after, Gamer Mom? Are you finding it difficult not to drink, Damon? Gamer Mom? Probably need another 2 minutes in that water. Gotcha. We're not rinsing the pasta. You should not rinse the pasta. The starch on the pasta is fantastic. In fact, in some cases, you would even want to use some of the starch water. You would want to reserve some of the water from the pasta, from cooking of the pasta, depending upon what you're making, if you need to thicken the sauce up a little bit. This is cooked about 95% of the way through. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see this from over there, but because we've taken it directly out of the water and thrown it straight into the pasta here, thrown it straight into the sauce here, the sauce has coated these noodles insanely well. Because we haven't gotten, this is why you don't rinse your pasta. We haven't gotten rid of any of the starches. We haven't washed off the starches from the, this is the basil, by the way. We haven't washed off any of the starches from the cooking process. The bottom of the bun burnt. Wait, what was rule number 1? I put that shit in a very hot oven, by the way. I put that shit in a very hot oven, by the way. In an electric oven on the bottom rack. Yeah. Very dangerous thing to do. We're taste testing, by the way. I'm not fucking with it. That's done. It's fucking delicious, too. God damn. That's fucking delicious. God damn. Babe, you want some? Where are you? Down here? You want a plate? So, chat, I'm gonna pull this over and show you guys. This is so. I wish I could stress to you how important, and I hope you can see how well the sauce is coated to these fucking noodles. This is so important not to fucking wash your pasta. Finish your pasta in your sauce. Finish your pasta in your sauce. Finish your fucking pasta in your fucking sauce. I do need a pasta machine. I tried making it last time, Bourbon. I couldn't roll it out flat enough. No, I need a KitchenAid. I need a KitchenAid as well, Bourbon. Again? And there's nothing wrong with that, Easy. You want to come to the door so you can tell me how much? I feel like I already know.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
What you want? That's good.
What? What? Bourbon, thank you very much for the 2,000 biddies. Thank you very much, Bourbon. By the way, in case anybody doesn't remember, what's up, Rob? In case anybody doesn't remember, today's the last day for the drawing. You could still enter tomorrow, but today's the last day for the drawing. So anything we get today will accumulate towards potentially the $100 gift card giveaway. But we're doing the giveaway tomorrow at 10 p.m. Tomorrow night at 10 p.m. is the drawing for the giveaway. How many of these you want? What?
Just a few. So I would save some for.
You told Kaya you would?
Yeah.
You want cheese on them? Huh? Asiago's in them. Yeah, well, we used to have a gas. We used to have a gas range too. What's the gas range mean? The gas range means I can put them underneath the salamander and fucking toast it off real good. Demon, if you put exclamation mark enter, or if you put exclamation mark ticket space max, it'll tell you that you're already in, I think. I can double check. When I get upstairs, I can open up Stream Elements and tell anybody that needs to know what your ticket pricing is, or where you're at ticket wise. What? What?
It's really yummy. It's really good.
Yeah.
Nice flavor.
What? No, no underscore. You need ticket space max, Bourbon. What, babe?
Can you put some of that cheese on this for me?
On the...
On the pasta.
Yeah, I got you.
That's good. One more. Okay, thank you.
My fucking tongs. I didn't know where my tongs went. What? What's wrong with it?
I said it's good. I want some more.
Oh. I think we got to go with the little 3-piece here.
What's special?
There's more bread too. You just got to give me a minute. I'm trying to... All right, guys. Appreciate that, Rob. I don't know why I started yelling all of a sudden like a fucking idiot. My mic is right here. All right, so I don't know if you guys recall, but basically I just did a quick pickle. We steeped up the vinegar with some herbs. We steeped up the vinegar with some herbs and some spices. Steeped up with herbs and spices, and poured that over the cold vegetables and allowed that to kind of soak in. This is what I meant when I said a quick pickle. This is the definition of a quick pickle. So, nothing crazy. I'm not going to actually eat that piece of garlic, but I am going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there for decorative purposes. I'm actually going to put a little bit of cilantro on here. I know it doesn't really go with the marinara. Eggnog creme brulee. I know that cilantro doesn't really go with the marinara, but I love fucking cilantro. And I love the flavors. So, that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. All right. I'm not going to be able to see chat for a minute because we're going to take a picture. I hate taking pictures of food. I don't know if you guys have ever heard me say that before. On some level, I don't mind. I don't mind trying to plate it up, but on another level I do, because I don't really have dishes to do this with. So it's kind of annoying to me. All right. 2 seconds, chat. I'll be right back with you. Okay. Okay. First things first. Right. I don't know if you can hear the crunch, but so this obviously doesn't taste like a pickle, right? Like a dill pickle or anything like that. But all of these vegetables now have that light, vibrant, acidic flavor of the lemon and the vinegar in there. And I didn't season any of this. So they need some salt and pepper, which is fine too, by the way. But you can eat it without the salt and pepper if you wanted to. But because of the way that we made it, the way that we put it together, heating up the liquid on the stove and then pouring it over the cold vegetables and putting it in, all that flavor has been able to incorporate into it without giving up any of the freshness and the textures of it. I don't know if you could hear it, but the cucumber was still very crunchy. The onion will still be very crunchy. Thank you, Gamer Mom. That's a lot of people will. I don't mind using sea salt for everything personally. But that's where you typically see things like the pink Himalayan finishing salt. So this is delicious, by the way. And I know you may not think so, tomato on tomato, right? But in addition to being a great starter, taking a bite of this is very rich. I think Butterfly will probably agree. It's creamy and it's delicious, but it's rich, right? It's heavy. And so having something light and acidic like this to contrast, you guys hear me talk about this every cooking stream now. I love contrast. I don't want the whole entire meal to be one tone, one note, one muddled flavor. You want that variety. You have something very rich. You want something light and acidic to contrast that, to give it that pop, to give it that highlight. Yeah, fresh garlic bread. Indian food? Why you want Indian food? How's what I said? Here's a profile of the mushroom, by the way. Yeah. This is delicious, by the way. I'm sorry. Gas myself up, but I know Mikey. Remember, guys, I said Mikey, but the Big Dog MW put in the group chat, well, in the cooking channel and in the Discord, some suggestions. I am absolutely down to cook and learn how to cook anything you guys want. I've made the stuffed mushrooms before, 1,000 times, but I've never made homemade marinara sauce before. I don't care if I've made it before. I don't care if I know how to make it. I will go out and I will research it and I will educate myself and I will learn how to make it. Obviously, when it comes to making some things, we have to develop. I use the butter chicken as an example, but I spent 40 or 50 bucks, I think it was, on spices. Maybe it was 60 bucks. I don't remember exactly, but so understand that even if you want something, then I may have to accumulate and work towards developing the cabinet, because right now I don't have, people have talked a lot about Asian food, and I need to build up the spices to be able to go cook some Asian food. In particular, I want to go out and experience how to make Thai food. I love Thai food, and from the Thai food that I've had, I think Thai food might be the best Asian food that you can get, and I want to experience that. Semi-instructional. So I feel like I usually do it. I'm sorry if I wasn't today. I think I don't want to make excuses, Bourbon. Maybe Butterfly can type it for me. But I struggled today to get set up for a couple reasons. The first and foremost being that I only slept 2.5 hours today in order to do this, and it's pretty common, but I struggled today. There was times Butterfly and I were down in the kitchen today multiple times when I was trying to prep for this and get ready for this, and I was like, and I don't know, my brain just fucking short-circuiting today for some reason. Well, a pretty obvious reason. I didn't fucking sleep enough. So if I wasn't as educational or informative as I normally would be, I apologize. I do try to make sure that I explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Some people want to hear that, and other people don't necessarily love hearing that because I tend to repeat myself. I'm down for red Thai curry. I'm down for anything, Demon. I really am. Like I said, I've never made homemade. If we go down the list of all the things that I've made in the cooking stream so far, we had the homemade chicken pot pie. I've never made chicken pot pie before in my fucking life. Never made homemade pie crust before. But I went and I made the pie crust, and I went and I made it's chicken pot pie. I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend to tell you that chicken pot pie is some high challenge for an experienced cook. But I made the chicken pot pie. We made the apple crisp. That was something else I hadn't done. Making bread to make homemade bruschetta. Never done it. Making homemade marinara. Never done it. But, you know, I think for me, I love food. I always have loved food. I enjoy making it. I enjoy eating it. I enjoy experiencing everything there is to experience about food and trying new food and trying food combinations in ways that I haven't before. I love the fact that, and I know Moose is going to bust my balls for this, but I love the fact that it's an art. I love that you have the freedom to experiment with things and kind of do your own thing and figure out what it is that you want, what works good for you. And I'm happy to cook. I'm happy to cook. I don't know. I'm at home in the kitchen. I've always been at home in the kitchen. I love making great food. And I think that people can tend to be intimidated by it. And listen, don't cook along with me and think that you're going to be able to go walk into a fucking professional kitchen and go cook, because you're not. Because it's a different fucking world than what we're doing right here. But I think that you can cook good food at home. A lot of people eat fucking fast food. HC, no offense, HC. And I understand he works a lot and it may be difficult for him, but you can do these types of things and you can cook good quality food at home for far cheaper and far better food than you're going to get if you go out and order it at McDonald's or any. Like, we made burgers a couple weeks ago. Those burgers were fucking amazing. And they were far better than any burger you're ever going to fucking buy. And you can do that for cheaper. You just need to not be afraid of doing it. So Bourbon, I respect that and I appreciate what you're saying there. And I unfortunately, so a lot of the things, I don't know when your first one here was, but I've explained before about how to hold a knife, as a for example. And I've done it, I think, twice now on stream. But, you know, the reason that I can stand here and do this and move my hand all over the cutting board and not cut myself is because I know how to hand. It's not just how to hold this hand, it's how to hold this hand. And all of that is very important. The fact that we're tucking the knife, most people probably think that you hold the knife like this. You don't. You hold the knife in the crease of your finger. You pinch your index finger up onto the tip. You pinch your thumb in and you close it. And now you've got that vertical control. So there's no side-to-side movement you don't want. And how you hold your left hand is just as fucking important. I don't even have to think about putting my hand like this. And so as much as I know that, and I've tried in the past cooking streams to be very explicative. I don't think that's the right way to say that. Explanatory. I've tried to be very explanatory about what I'm doing. I know that I'm probably going to have a tendency to forget. And so when you mention something like tossing the pasta, I can't tell you how to do that. I literally can't tell you how to do that. You're throwing it forward till it hits the back of the pan, and then you're yanking it fucking back to you. That's it. And the only thing I can tell you is that when you're trying to learn how to fucking do it, you're going to fucking spill everything. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not me being cocky or me being a dick or me, I don't know how you know how to do it. I think at some point you just see guys doing it around you and you develop the ability to do it too. Like there's some things, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Well, why it's useful? What? Okay, Tommen. Okay. I don't know who fucking Quentin is, Tommen. Why it's useful? I can tell you that 100 times out of 100 times. It's going to be the best way to make sure that you get the incorporation of the sauce fully throughout all the noodles and everything that you're doing. It's the best way to stir things up because it just creates that it creates that agitation and it makes sure that everything gets mixed up. Everything goes up and comes back down. Everything goes forward and pushes back out. It's the best way to get everything evenly coated and all throughout the pan. Well, explicative, isn't explicative a vulgarity? I think explicative is a vulgarity. I don't think I was right the way that I used it. I could be wrong. Maybe I did use it right the first time and I second guessed myself for no reason, but it does fold in nicely. Okay. Well, explanatory works too. Maybe I second guessed myself into, I said it right the first time, but I corrected something I didn't need to correct. Okay. I guess I used it correctly the first time around. All right. Well. Again, by the way, very, very rich, very creamy. I know it's a tomato sauce, but I'm going to be honest. If you didn't know better, you would think that there was some type of fucking binder or something else in there. I think it's a very creamy tomato sauce, and it's very heavy. Not heavy in a bad way, but it's heavy. And having the contrast of the cucumber and the quick pickle that I made to have a bite, like eating a bite of this and the very richness, and then going to a bite of that, is a fucking fantastic contrast.
About pickle.
You want it? Try a bite.
Will you grab me a soda?
You want a bite?
I don't want any of that onion.
I know you don't want the onion. You take a bite of pasta and then have a bite of this.
I just ate. Literally my plate is empty. I'm full. No more pasta. No more pasta. No more pasta. Oh.
I didn't think you were getting all of that in your mouth. So, I don't know if I finished my train of thought, but back to it. If you guys want me to cook something, let me know. Bourbon, I can't redeem that right now. The pickle.
Pickle my pickle?
Yeah. You'd have to go get the pickle for me.
I'll get your pickle, all right.
Gumbo?
Different pickle?
They clipped that.
With what?
I didn't think you could get all of this in your mouth. I'm off camera saying that to you.
I can't even hear myself through the thing.
Must have. They heard me say it.
I hear you. I don't hear myself. Your mic is pretty good because I don't hear myself at all. I haven't anyway. It's unfortunate because, it's all about the pickle.
Yeah, so Demon, I don't like using sugar. Only had suggested sugar as well. I don't like using sugar. I like using carrots. If you simmer the carrot, in the tomato sauce, It'll release those natural sugars out of the carrot, and it'll help knock down that acidity if you have the issue. I'm not sure. Why is that familiar? Chopino? Chopino? Now, you know, Bourbon, Grits has suggested that I look at something like that, and I'm not opposed to checking something like that out and trying to link up with them. One of the things I would concern myself with when it comes to that, and I hate to say, like, if you got to do it, you got to do it, because I don't want to do it if I got to do it. I know that sounds fucked up, but I don't want to do it if I got to do it. One of the things I don't want to do is to be forced into cooking a particular menu. And so I don't know that it would be and it doesn't HelloFresh give you predetermined meals? Isn't it a fucking, like they send you all the ingredients for a particular meal with a particular recipe card and typical particular ingredients list? Yeah. I've seen that before. Bourbon from Stream Elements, I've seen that before. And I don't know. It's one of those things, like, I think it's a tough sell. I don't think I'm going to get 20 people to buy into something like that currently. Right. Right, Bourbon. If we can sell it, and it's worth it, you know what I mean? If people want to get involved with it and actually want to cook along, I'm 100% in. But I've never used it. Every day for 3 years? You just have them send you something every day, or is it a once a week thing? Or what, how's that? Sunbasket? I've never heard of Sunbasket. Yeah. I didn't know that, Bourbon, but yeah. Somebody who just moved from Connecticut, when it comes to seafood, yeah. I don't even love seafood, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be pretty fucking particular about it. You guys remember last week's stream talking about how to pick a steak? That's something, that's a downfall, in my opinion, and I don't want to bag on any one of them, but that's a downfall of something like a HelloFresh or any one of those companies that gives you those things. I think is that you lose the ability for, I know it doesn't seem like much, but when I go to the grocery store, and Butterfly busts my balls about this because of how long I take to book, and she's like, just pick a tomato. Just pick this. I fucking touch 40 tomatoes when I'm in there. I grab a lemon and I rub it in my hands to see how it feels. I smell a cantaloupe to make sure that it's musky. It should be musky. And I spend time investigating and it's the same thing with proteins. I spend time investigating the ingredients to make sure that they're what I want them to be. So I don't come home and find out that I cut into a tomato that's fucking bad, or I open a cantaloupe that's not ripened. Wait, what's too much? Oh, I got you, Easy. I got you, baby. Well, and now Bourbon, I know you're taking the piss, and I know you're being funny, but the reason for it is like I said, a cantaloupe is actually called a muskmelon, the technical term, and it's because it should smell musky at the root, at the stem part where the stem would have been connected, and that's how everybody taps on the melon, and I'm not saying that it won't give you an indication, but smelling it, and it's the same thing when it came to picking out the steaks last week. I don't want somebody to deliver me a steak and say, "Hey, that's good. Go cook that like this." But what the fuck do you know about? You picked a bad steak to cook that way. You picked a bad piece of meat to cook that way. And I don't mean to sound pretentious, like somebody else can't pick a good steak, but to be mass given ingredients that, yeah, I don't know if I have anything else that I can point out and talk about it with, but it's those things. I pick up a bunch of cilantro, and I investigate the cilantro, and I investigate the lemon, and I investigate the limes, and I'm gonna be honest, bro. No, there's nothing, Bourbon. That's not. I don't think that that doesn't make you pretentious, and B, I don't think that makes you a fucking dick. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong. Some people want to go to that length to do so, and others don't. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's to each their own, and I don't think there's anything fucking wrong with it, right? Because you have scenarios, and bro. Some people like fucking Picasso, and some people like Van Gogh, bro, and some people like lobster, and some people like fucking chicken. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with being picky about what you're putting in your mouth. Like, by all means, be selective about it. Be like, I mean, you hear me talk about having balance and how the richness goes with the fucking contrast of the quick pickle and things like that. I'm very conscious about. I'm very conscious. I say this when it comes to spicy food in particular. People have a tendency to make food spicy with no regard to flavor. They just blow your fucking palate to pieces. And basically, once you've done that, once you've fucked with somebody in that way, or you've done that to their food, whether intentionally or unintentionally, now the rest of the fucking day, the rest of the meal, they're shot. You might have made the most impeccably perfect fucking meal that you could possibly make. But you gave them a starter that had too much fucking capsaicin in it, and it doesn't matter because they can't fucking taste dinner now because you've destroyed their fucking tongue. And so, why shouldn't you be selective? Why shouldn't you be picky about what you're fucking eating? You should be. It's yours, man. I'm absolutely selective about what I put in my mouth. 100% selective. Unlike people like Dame who put feet in their fucking mouth, I care. But Bam Bam, it's not just about. Listen, if you want spice on there, it's fine. I mean, the science, from what I understand, the science of why spicy food is spicy and why it lingers as long as it does is because the capsaicin actually binds to like the fucking the taste buds in your on your tongue, right? It actually sticks to them. And this is why it stays with you for so long. Now, I think you can draw a parallel and say anything that's got even a small amount of capsaicin in it is going to bind to your taste buds, right? And because it's bound to your if you use it with a very deliberate and a delicate hand, you have the ability to use capsaicin and things like citric acid to really enhance the flavor of things. But you have to be careful with it. You can't just pour fucking lemon juice on everything. You can't just fucking dump fucking capsaicin on whatever you want. There's crushed red pepper in every aspect of this meal. Every aspect of this meal has some crushed red pepper in it. But there's no, babe, do you have, right, you'd rather taste, do you have any spiciness happen into your to your palate right now? No, because there's not enough of it to do that, but everything tastes delicious. And that's there's balance. You have to have balance. I have seen Uncle Roger's stuff. I have actually seen Uncle Roger's stuff in relation to, so another one that I like is Chef Reacts. I prefer Chef Reacts, but no, because, well, for a couple reasons, Bam Bam, I know how to cook. I know how to cook. B, I know how to cook for her, and again, go back to I know how to cook. If I wanted this to be spicy, it would be spicy. When I make my pico de gallo has a higher level of spice to it, and she tends to avoid it. Or I'll make some that doesn't have as much for her. So, but when I make pico de gallo, there's still a massive amount of flavor. For me, there's still a massive amount of flavor in it. So, it's Uncle Roger's fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna try and do his voice because I wouldn't do it any fucking justice, but Uncle Roger's hilarious. All right, I'm kind of debating. So it's 8 o'clock, guys. You've never seen him? I'm kind of debating what to do here. The kitchen's mostly clean. I don't really need to clean up the kitchen. My son still needs to eat, and I guarantee you, my son will not walk down here. My son will not walk down here as long as the camera's on. I don't know if he's ready to eat or not. Normally, I would just go up. Normally, I would just go up and switch straight over, but I think I'm actually going to go ahead and raid out and shut it down for a minute. Maybe we shut it down for like an hour, hour and a half, and I come back. I don't know. I may even try to close my eyes for an hour. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, though. Thank you, Bourbon. Thank you for hanging out throughout. Thank you, Bourbon. I appreciate all of your insight all the time. I don't take any of it any other way except for helpful insights, bro. So I do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, my son needs to eat, but he's fine. I'm just debating because I don't think I can sleep, but I could sit down and finish eating my dinner. All right, I'm gonna go. I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna walk upstairs so I can raid out with you guys, and then I will be back in an hour or two. I know you guys can hear me all the way, but wait, who's king shaming? Oh, me king shaming because of Dame's feet thing? The stream turned out fantastic. You can hear me just fine, right? Yeah, you should be able to hear me maybe even better now. The stream was fantastic. The meal was fantastic. Sorry for just seeing that successful. All right, let's look around and see who we have to, who is currently streaming. I'm going to be live again in like an hour. You guys want to? We should go see Ballin. We'll go see Ballin for now. I'll be live in like an hour, hour and a half. I don't know, maybe 2 hours. Yeah. Let's go say hi to Ballin for a little bit. All right. I love you guys. Thank you guys very much for the support. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'm going to, like I said, I'm probably going to finish eating and then, you know, we'll see what we see. I will be back shortly, guys, for the gaming stream. Have a great night. Love you. Bye.